Hello and welcome to Tuesday Tips. This is Meg Rentschler, host of the Star Coach Show. And today we're going to dive into what makes teams effective and how can coaches help with that effectiveness. Because the reality is, when we can do things together, when we can put our talents together, and that's what teams can do when they're doing it effectively, it helps move the needle so much better than when we are individuals all running around in our own directions and not working together. So, the concept today of teams and being an effective team coach is being brought forward to highlight tomorrow's new episode of the Star Coach Show. Every Wednesday, we have a new show go live, and this week, my guest is going to be James Scouller. James is the author of How to Build Winning Teams Again and Again. In tomorrow's interview, we're really focusing on book one, but this is a trilogy. So he actually has 3 books on building winning teams. He did a great job in our interview talking about what we need to think about when building winning teams and how to move those teams forward. So that is a great interview. It's going live tomorrow at starcoachshow.com, on my YouTube channel, and at Star Coach Show, and on all platforms. If you are a Star Coach listener, I certainly hope that you have subscribed wherever you listen so that no matter when a new show comes out, because sometimes I have bonus shows that come out, they pop up in your feed. So be sure that you are subscribing. If you're watching me on YouTube, click that subscribe button and join us so that you get all the shorts and all the good stuff that we put on the YouTube channel every week. So let's take just a minute to think about effective teams and how, when teams are effective and they're consistently performing well, it drives success in the whole organization. Let's talk about a few elements or characteristics that would indicate an effective team and how a coach can help with that process. So we start with sort of the foundational aspect, if any, at any time, and this is foundational in coaching if you're doing one-on-one coaching as well, it's psychological safety. If we are feeling safe to share with one another, to take appropriate risk, to share our ideas, to admit our mistakes, to ask questions of one another and challenge assumptions, that's going to create more collaboration, more authenticity, and build innovation. When we can have honest dialogue within teammates, that's going to lead to success. It's going to lead to working through failure and promote genuine learning and improvement. How can a coach help with this? Well, the coach helps set the stage for safety in inviting group to explore what are the expectations? What are the guardrails that we have? What is the expectation around clear communication? How are we going to honor the space for one another? What does appropriate challenge look like? What do we ultimately want to move toward? And in that, what do we need to have a safe space to do that? So, psychological safety, the first element of an effective team, certainly something that we need to pay attention to if we are a coach working in a team setting. The second characteristic that I want to look at today is having a clear purpose and shared goals. They drive teams towards the same direction, right? So if we don't have a fragmented team going in lots of different directions, we want to be able to gain clarity about what is this direction? What are the goals that we have? When we can have a compelling understanding of what creates that goal, what the purpose is, it's going to increase motivation. What can the coach do to help with this? The coach is going to invite the discussion around what is the purpose of our time together? What are we working toward? Just like when a coach works with an individual to set goals, to set expectations, to set things that they're working toward, a team coach is going to work with the team to invite discussion and clarity around purpose and goals. The third element that I wanted to explore today regarding effective teams and how a coach can help with that is an effective team communicates well. They have, excuse me, structured communication, such as effective meetings and clear written communication, but they also are able to informally engage with one another. And they develop norms around giving and receiving of feedback, handling disagreements, keeping each informed. The team coach understands the balance between being thorough, being efficient, oversharing, and undersharing, sort of is able to inquire and use curiosity and questions and highlight things that are working well, encourage communication around what is working and what's not working. Balance is so key. And sometimes, if we are a team member and we're caught up in sort of the drama or working toward a particular thing and we don't see the big picture, a coach can step in and sort of help ask questions and explore around what does that big picture look like in the way of being clear in communication, in the way of, once again, moving towards those goals and purpose. So psychological safety, clear purpose and shared goals, strong communication practices. And the fourth characteristic of effective teams that coaches can help with is the concept of accountability. Now, when teams are meeting in team coaching, that has some built-in accountability in that they're coming together, they're meeting, they can feel responsible, not just for their own work, but how are we coming together to make particular things happen, to work towards those stated goals together. We can hold each other to high standards and offer support where that's needed. The whole practice of team coaching brings things forward, keeps them from being hidden. It absolutely sets the stage for, clear accountability. Once again, going back into the aspect of trust and safety, and um, and support one another in building of competence and confidence in the process. And then finally, when we think about effective teams need to be able to make decisions. They need to be able to take steps forward together, have a mutual consensus, even if everyone doesn't agree. Once we get a majority, how do we all sort of get behind that concept? Strong teams have those clear processes for making decisions. How can a coach help in that? Well, that can be something that's addressed in the team process. It can be something that we know that we're searching for such and such. A coach can ask the questions, hold focus towards a particular destination. I know that through the years, teams can get distracted and focused on many different things. So being able to have the spotlight put on what is the decision that's been made, what are the actions that are going to be taken, and have that sort of built in both accountability and aspect of regularity in the meeting and in the coming together can create that shift, can create that focus. So in tomorrow's show with James Scouller, we're going to be talking about the concept of winning teams, what we need to know in the place of building a winning team. And James gives some great ideas that we can implement immediately, whether you're a leader who is on a team, whether you are leading a team, whether you are a coach who's working with teams. I think tomorrow's new show is going to be just what you need. So, once again, this is Meg Rentschler wishing you the very best for your success. I hop on Tuesday afternoons each week to give just a few tips to think about in the way of coaching, in the way of communicating and leading. And then every Wednesday morning, a new Star Coach show goes live. So, once again, subscribe wherever you listen. Thanks for stopping in to Tuesday's tips. And until next week, this is Meg Rentschler, hoping that you have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.